I don't want to have to do this commentary, but I guess I'm gonna have to. The other day, I did a commentary about Reverend Jackson and why people keep insinuating that Reverend Jackson had taken part in Dr. King's assassination. And I also mentioned people keep mentioning that Mr. Farrakhan took part in Malcolm X assassination and so forth. Now, I don't go out and dismiss conspiracy theories wholeheartedly, but sometimes some people are conspiracy theories to the extreme. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Do think there are some conspiracies, but sometimes we gotta use logic. I just saw a video with Dr. Umar Johnson talking about Kobe Bryant's helicopter. Now it's bad enough that they had put somebody put video up of a helicopter crash that was not even Kobe Bryant's. Okay, it's bad enough that people out here talking about a cartoon predicted Kobe Bryant's death. I just think it was timing when everybody knew Kobe took. Well, at least it was common knowledge in the California area or in the sports world. If you was a big time Kobe Bryant fan, knew that he took helicopters everywhere he went, and he's explained over the years why. In this video, you start to see surface now that he had multiple interviews by it. So that cartoon that y'all see circulating about the helicopter crashing, that just one of those things, you know. But my thing is, I saw Dr. Umar Johnson, he's an educated man. He's a psychiatrist. So I mean, he's supposed to be a rational thinker. He's supposed to be able to see through the BS. Out here spreading conspiracy theories, like the helicopter crashed during fog. Yeah, it happens. There's a thing in aviation where I forget what it's called, but it's the same thing that happened to John Kennedy Jr., where you get disorientated because you don't have any markers, any sight. That's why in tall buildings, if you notice, tall buildings have those blinking lights for airplanes and other aircrafts, so they can know where they at, so they won't crash into buildings or other man-made structures. That's why they have sensors on airplanes and helicopters that let you know that you're approaching the terrain. And one of the witnesses that saw the helicopter was flying too low. And I guarantee you, once they do the investigation, it's gonna be human. What's the term they call it? It's gonna be a human. It's gonna be a human mistake. It's gonna be a mistake of the pilot. I can't. The word I'm going blank on. This place is gonna help me. It's gonna be a human factor because anybody knows that they don't like taking off in bad weather. Fog is bad weather. You hear if you live in certain parts of the country, especially like right now in the Midwest, right now in the Chicago area, we having a crazy winter. One day it's cold, one day it's somewhat warm, one day it's really warm. And if it's above 35 degrees, we get fog. And they tell you visibility is so much this. So people have to cut their high beams on. But even with your high beams on, you still can't see in front of you. So you have to take precaution. That pilot should have never flown from the start. Then Umar was talking about a helicopter just don't stop. What do a helicopter stop? If it's man-made, it can stop, Umar. I don't understand why people buy cars, brand new cars, drive on lots. I've seen them break down on the side of the road. I kid you not. I have a recently new vehicle, and it still has some defects on it. We hear about companies recalling cars all the time. Look what Boeing. They had to ground they fly the planes because of two crashes because of human error. That's the word, human error. Don't feed into these conspiracy theories. This is why people look at us like, they too busy chasing conspiracy theories. This is why nobody, when black folks say things, people dismiss it. Because they go, well, this guy over here saying that such and such, you did this. You saw aliens and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, y'all, come on. That cartoon was just ill-fated, and anybody's words can be just misconstrued now as something nefarious. Now people try to say, well, Kobe must have been murdered. Okay, come on, folks. If they wanted to do Kobe in, they could have did him anywhere. They could have did him And when you go to a restaurant, somebody could have drove up to his crib and done. I mean, come on, man, y'all gotta stop looking for conspiracies to explain random events. We don't know when we're gonna leave this plane of existence. Don't do this, y'all. Please don't do this now. People that I respect, I'm looking at various videos, and I see, but see, this is what they do. They say human beings, and they said, and I guess they would dub this to call it the Kennedy effect. Even though this stuff's gone before Kennedy, it ratcheted up during the Kennedy assassination. People can't fathom that some individual or nobody assassinated somebody as important as a president. So just imagine you sitting there watching Kobe for the last 20 years. We grew up with Kobe. We all in the same age. He's a Gen Xer. So we remember when he went hardship. So the idea of Kobe dying that way is messing with our head. It's messing with our mortality. And a lot of us are replaying in our head what was they thinking when that helicopter was going down, or what was he thinking at the moment when that spark. Let me tell you something. Don't think and I can speak for this being I was in explosions. When something explodes, you see that orange and blue spark, and everything goes dark. So just imagine, and I'm not trying to be graphic, but just imagine Kobe and those parents with those children or those spouses, or that was sitting there, or that pilot, like, oh my God, it's too late. Once them blades hit contact with that rock, that was it. It's very rare people walk away from helicopter crashes. Very rare. You've heard of people walk away from some survivors that walk from a plane crash, but helicopters, that's a totally different thing because the way they design. Please, Umar, don't take that commentary down. Don't feed into this. You know some of our people are not rational when it comes down to events like this, because then we want to go stop Jeebus. Do we get irrational? And we don't realize how dangerous this is. We gotta stop doing this as a people. Please, and I know there may be some brothers and sisters out here that I follow who follow me, may be in disagreement with me, but don't do this now until we get some information that just don't add up. Because believe me, I want to get what they gonna say and put out there, and I can guarantee you happening. I guess because I was in the military, because I seen explosions, we seen helicopters crash. We know when I saw that debris field. First of all, they said that the fuselage is on the other side, and then you got the tail, but you saw that flame, and they showed the action. They said magnesium was on a helicopter. They said recovered all the bodies, so that means more than likely Kobe and his daughter's body was still up there that the day of that crash. Because ain't no way if they say it was no survivors. When they see anybody's not survive, if there's not a survivor, they do not move those bodies. They leave them where they at to get proper identification and to mark where they found their bodies so they can do the investigation. It's going to come out either the helicopter malfunction or human error or human arrogance. Just like when the Lear plane went down, it was too much. It weighed too much. That's what went down. Y'all got to understand, these are man-made objects. Nothing man-made is perfect. Those helicopters said was in service since 1991. That's almost 30 years. And yes, I know the media want to say there was bought from Illinois. Okay, it doesn't matter. And Kobe didn't want to. He said he wanted to get back and forth. Kobe was retired. I'm not. He could have. It could have drove. They just did what wealthy people or people with means do. They figured I can fly. I can take a helicopter. I can take a private plane. And that's what happened. And unfortunately, it was a tragedy. Look, I've stuck my neck out for Umar at times. I don't always agree with him because sometimes he panders. Sometimes he go too pro-black at times. But if you're an educated man, you know damn well that please don't play into a conspiracy. You know there are brothers and sisters in our community who are not well versed or educated or exposed. Because I've been reading the last video, you know, something more to it, and I'm like, oh my God, y'all just wait before y'all start going there. Now, I understand some of us are going to be suspicious because we know that well-known, well-to-do black men or black people, more so black men, eventually something happened to them under mysterious circumstances a lot of times. But this time, I think this just was human error. Whether it was a malfunction of the helicopter or pilot error, that pilot knew better. They should not, even the police officers, them helicopters was grounded. I'm telling you what happened. They did what JFK did. He got disoriented. He couldn't. You can't. Especially up. That's bad enough at ground level. You can't see. So just imagine being in a helicopter doing that. That's common sense. And I guarantee you, they insisted on. Oh yeah, we can. You can you do it? And they didn't want to turn down Kobe Bryant and these people. And you guys said, yeah, I could do it. And he probably did it a couple of times and made it. But the other day, even the witnesses, they said it was just too much. But watching that video, Umar saying, how did the propeller stop? I like, oh hell no. You of all people do not need to be doing that. Please don't do the conspiracy theories right now. Because every time somebody do something, like Oprah, first thing people say, Oprah out here, she cooning. She must be being paid. She must be forced to do it. Instead of just saying, yo, she just doing it herself. Look, there are times when there are conspiracies against us, and we don't even acknowledge it then. But see, what it is, this is human nature. We're reaching, we're grasping for something. I'm telling y'all to step back and wait. Just like y'all did when that girl got felt in that freezer in Rosemont. Everybody kept talking about she was murdered. When all that happened is she got so high, she got disoriented and walked in that freezer and couldn't get out and froze to death. Sometimes things have simple answers. Please stop with the conspiracy theories until y'all get a little bit more. I'm telling y'all, we're looking like we're irrational people.